We are reaping the dividends of being a complacent population, one that enables and accepts corrupt leadership. I've been following the recent happenings, especially the case of the ex-governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, and the EFCC. The back and forth, the conflicting court rulings, courts of coordinate jurisdiction, by the way, bordering on his arrest, just in case you've not been following the story. So the ex-governor was accused of embezzling funds and allegedly using some of those funds to pay his children's school fees. And as of Saturday, the most recent development on that case is that he released a press statement refuting all of his claims, saying that his children had been attending that school way before he became governor, with fees consistently paid and not from state funds. And he also challenged the EFCC's attempt to reclaim those fees lawfully paid. To me, all of this reflects the degradable state of our justice system. When politics is allowed to press against legal boundaries, there is an unhealthy interplay that creates an uneasy tension between upholding justice and enabling the breakdown of rule of law. And that's why the judiciary should always maintain the responsibility of vigilance, making sure that the integrity of the law is upheld at all costs and that the fundamental principles are not undermined. But here we are. And some people claim that this is more of a witch hunt and that the case is politically inspired. And why is it even a question of politics and not of law to determine whether or not those accusations are true or false? So I'd like to hear your thoughts. What are your dispositions? Drop it in the comment section. In another development, the federal government recently, earlier this month, signed into law the Student Loan Act. And I must say that's a commendable and laudable step forward, as it gives young Nigerians, especially those from low-income families, access to tertiary education. And the repealed act also addresses some of the concerns bordering on funding, on reduced reliance on guarantors, and even makes provision for loan forgiveness, which I think is really commendable and very crucial for a nation's development. However, I also believe that at this point in a nation's lifetime, it is more crucial to address the issues bordering on quality, not necessarily on affordability. What do I mean? Are they graduating youth that can either gain employment or create employment? Are there even jobs, guaranteed jobs that when you graduate, when you leave school as a young Nigerian, you're guaranteed of employment that will enable you to pay back these loans? Because I think that also borders on the sustainability of that policy. In essence, what I'm trying to say is the government should make more efforts in addressing the skills gap and quality concerns, not necessarily affordability. Because at the end of the day, if you have a population of young people who are jobless, and what's the point of making education accessible in the first place? Please invest in revitalizing the education system. Begin by cleaning up the basic education system. Recently, there was a story of a woman who was shamed publicly when she was sharing a testimony of graduating after 10 years with a BSc in law, in her words. And despite her accomplishments, I believe that her inability to articulate herself must have been the reason why she was embarrassed in front of thousands. But you see, as sad as that may have been, or funny, or whatever your disposition about that is, it's a stark representation of the state of the Nigerian education system right now. There are graduates out there who cannot even differentiate between past and present tense. Is that bad? So please, I believe that it is more important to address these discrepancies in education, improve teacher quality, invest more in infrastructures, in public universities. Those are the needed changes. This is not to say this law is out of place. No, for someone who has struggled to education, it is really commendable. But I think that making the changes such as mentioned and revamping the tertiary education curriculum into a more robust vocational training-based curriculum that will equip young graduates with employability and leadership skills is more important.